One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is,
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half of the people there were butt naked.
Would you be open to a plea bargain?
Well, it's not up to me. It's up to Mr. Combs, and I don't see it happening.
Why?
Because he believes he's innocent. He believes he's innocent. And what's more, he believes that he needs to stand up, not just for himself, for his family, and for everybody who's been targeted by the federal government.
Well, Bill and Sade, accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and force. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults and plans to take his chances that a jury agreed.
Breaking news just hit. Diddy's trusted bodyguard flipped, spilling secrets to the feds to dodge prison. This betrayal could bury Sean Combs, exposing a web of crimes that reaches Hollywood's elite. The trial's already a circus, and this snitch just lit a fuse. Stay locked in as we dive into the Bodyguard's bombshell, Diddy's crumbling empire, and the names that might surface next. The Manhattan courtroom's buzzing. Sean Diddy Combs, once hip-hop's untouchable mogul, is fighting for his life in a federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial. The charges are brutal. 5 counts, including sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, racketeering conspiracy, transportation for prostitution, and forced labor. Prosecutors say Diddy ran a criminal enterprise for decades, orchestrating drug-fueled freak-off orgies, coercing women with threats and violence, and using his inner circle to cover it up, insisting every encounter was consensual, but the walls are closing in. And now, his own bodyguard just drove a nail into the coffin. The bombshell dropped mid-trial, as jury selection wrapped on May 9th, 2025. Sources close to the case, amplified by posts on X, claim Diddy's longtime bodyguard, once a loyal shadow, cut a deal with prosecutors to avoid his own charges. This isn't just gossip, it's a game changer. The bodyguard, whose identity hasn't been fully confirmed but is rumored to be a key figure in Diddy's entourage, allegedly handed over damning evidence, details of the freak-offs, hush money payments, and maybe even recordings. One ex-post from an Arjalawa 28545, dated May 6th, 2025, quoted the bodyguard saying, "This is all bigger than Diddy," hinting at high-level names tied to the scandal. Another post from 2024 by an Art of Dialogue _ noted Gene Deal, a former Diddy bodyguard, saying he'd testify if subpoenaed. Whether it's Deal or another, the snitch is real and the fallout's massive. Let's rewind. Diddy's security team wasn't just muscle. They were enablers, according to the indictment. Prosecutors allege bodyguards facilitated the freak-offs, escorting women to hotel suites, delivering drugs, and cleaning up evidence. Some, like Joseph Sherman, named in a 2001 lawsuit by Talia Graves, were accused of direct involvement in assaults. Graves claimed Sherman and Diddy drugged and raped her at a studio, tying her up while they recorded it. If the snitching bodyguard is Sherman or someone like him, their testimony could confirm these horrors, painting Diddy as the ringleader of a predatory network. The feds likely offered immunity or a reduced sentence, a classic move to flip a small fish and catch the shark. Why would a bodyguard snitch? Survival. Federal charges like racketeering or aiding and abetting carry heavy time. Decades, maybe life. If the bodyguard faced his own indictment, talking was the only way out. Plus, loyalty fades when the boss's empire is crumbling. Diddy's fortune, once near $1 billion, is bleeding out on legal fees. His homes in Miami and LA were raided in March 2024, turning up 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, now infamous trial fodder. His bad boy records, Sean John clothing, and Ciroc vodka deals are tainted. The The bodyguard saw the writing on the wall. Diddy's done, so why go down with him? The trial's already a mess. Jury selection was a slog. 32 New Yorkers questioned, 13 dismissed for bias. One juror got cut for saying Diddy's wealth could buy his way out. Another was axed for watching HBO's The Fall of Diddy documentary. Judge Arun Subramanian, a no-nonsense Ginsburg clerk, kept things tight, roasting Diddy when he asked for a bathroom break. No need to slow us down, Mr. Combs. By May 9th, 19 jurors were cleared, with final strikes locking in 12 plus 6 alternates. Opening statements hit May 12th, and the bodyguard's testimony could be the prosecution's ace. What's the bodyguard spilling? Speculation's wild, but ex-posts and court leaks suggest he's got dirt on the freak-offs. These weren't just parties. They were allegedly choreographed nightmares, with women flown in, drugged, and coerced into sex with Diddy and male escorts. The bodyguard might confirm who was there. Names like Kanye West, Jay-Z, or even politicians, all listed in the juror questionnaire. He could detail Diddy's blackmail tactics, like recording encounters to silence victims. One source told CNN the feds have 9 freak-off videos and the bodyguard might authenticate them, blowing apart Diddy's consensual defense. If he's got tapes, as at Arjalbois 28545 claimed, the elite are sweating. This betrayal stings because Diddy's inner circle was his fortress. His former chief of staff, Christina Coram, is named in civil suits for covering up abuse, though she's not charged criminally. His associate Brendan Paul was busted for drug possession during the March 2024 raids, but released on bond. The bodyguard was closer than most, privy to Diddy's darkest moments. If Gene deals the snitch, his history with Diddy goes back to the 90s bad boy days, guarding stars like Biggie Smalls. Deal's 2024 YouTube interview with The Art of Dialogue showed he was ready to talk, saying he'd testify if called. Whoever it is, their flip exposes Diddy's vulnerability. Even his soldiers are jumping ship. Let's talk stakes. The prosecution, led by Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey, is banking on 4 victims, including Cassie, whose 2016 assault video is a trial centerpiece. But they've hit snags. Victim 3's lawyer is MIA, and Victim 4, a former employee, might be the bodyguard's target. CNN reported on May 2nd that witnesses include former partners, a business associate, and a male sex worker, so the bodyguard's testimony could tie it all together. Diddy's defense, with heavyweights Mark Agnifilo and Tenny Garagos, is pushing consent, claiming the freak-offs were just wild but legal parties. They've got a psychiatrist, Dr. Eliaon, ready to testify about Diddy's drug use, maybe to paint him as a messed up but not criminal figure. The bodyguard's account could shred that narrative. Hollywood's on edge. Diddy's white parties and Hamptons bashes were A-list magnets. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lopez, Michael B. Jordan, all named in the juror list. None are charged, but the bodyguard's testimony could drag them into the mud. A 2008 lawsuit alleges a 17-year-old was groped by Diddy and forced to perform oral sex on a bodyguard during a show audition. If the snitch corroborates this, it's not just Diddy who's exposed, it's the whole Elitech for a system. The fallout could ripple through the industry, especially if high-level officials are named, as the bodyguard hinted. The elite angle is chilling. The bodyguard's claim that this is all bigger than Diddy echoes Kanye West's 2022 prison call, where Diddy warned him to be careful, hinting at a shared enemy. Mark Wahlberg's rumored warnings to A-listers, "Don't testify," suggest a network of power protecting itself. If the bodyguard names moguls, execs, or politicians, it's not just careers at stake. It's the whole system. Weinstein's fall sparked #MeToo. Epstein's exposed global elites. Diddy's trial could be the next domino, and the bodyguard's the one pushing it. Subramanian's courtroom is a pressure cooker. He's allowed the Cassie video, limited expert testimony, and kept jurors unbiased. When a juror mentioned baby oil jokes, he quipped, "We're not here for stand-up." His rulings favor evidence over spin, which spells trouble for Diddy. The bodyguard's testimony, if credible, could be the knockout blow. Prosecutors have struggled to lock in witnesses. Victim 3 might not show, but the bodyguard's cooperation could fill that gap. especially if he's victim for the forced labor accuser. Diddy's legacy is on life support. Bad Boy record defined hip-hop. Biggie Mays 112. His parties were cultural landmarks. But the allegations, rape, trafficking, forced labor, aren't just crimes, they're betrayals. Fans on X are torn. Some scream, "Free Diddy." Others call him a monster. The Bodyguard snitch move is a gut punch, turning a loyal ally into a traitor. If he's got tapes, as rumored, they could leak, blowing up X and the news cycle. Imagine the headlines: Diddy's Bodyguard exposes elite secrets. What's next? Opening statements drop May 12th, with Cassie's testimony and the 2016 video set to hit hard. The Bodyguard's turn on the stand could come any day, depending on the prosecution strategy. If he names names, X will erupt, trending hashtag Diddy snitched or hashtag elite exposed. The defense will try to paint him as a liar, maybe digging into his own rap sheet to discredit him. But the feds don't cut deals lightly. Whatever he's got, it's solid enough to scare Diddy's team. Zoom out. This trial's bigger than one man. It's about power, privilege, and accountability. The Bodyguard's flip shows even the tightest crews crack under pressure. Hollywood's watching, nervous about who's next. The industry's a house of cards. Weinstein Roosevelt Franklin once said, "You don't choose your friends, but you do choose what you do with them." Diddy's fall could expose that. If the Bodyguard's testimony holds, it's not just his empire crumbling. It's the myth of untouchable elites. Picture this: May 12th, Manhattan. The jury's seated, staring at Diddy. Cassie takes the stand, her voice steady, recounting years of abuse. The 2016 video plays, gasps fill the room. Then the Bodyguard steps up, sworn in, ready to spill. He's nervous but resolute, detailing dates, places, names. Diddy's face is stone, but his eyes betray fear. Outside, X is a war zone, clips of sketches, hot takes, conspiracy threads. The elite are scrambling, phones buzzing in penthouses and private jets. Someone's about to crack, and when they do, the whole world's watching.